Good day, Minecraftians. Purple Mentat here with episode 3 of FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock. I'd say expert mode, but it's always expert mode. There's no avoiding it. I am currently on the Purple Patron server with the patrons that have chosen to support me by Patreon or Stream Tip. This will be the daily shill. If you want to join us, you can do so by supporting me on Patreon or Stream Tip. Details in the description below. Let's get started. Last time we got some iron and such going, and we talked about how we can use the ore smasher and our smeltery to double our iron output. Now that we have a good bit of iron, we can start doing some more exciting and exotic things, including some very basic automation, which I really need to get going on. Actually, speaking of which, here's a bit of busy work that I forgot to do. I need more trees planted. At this point, I'm just filling the area with all of the dirt that I have down with trees because, well, I don't care as much about the saplings, and I'm going to get plenty. We'll set up a proper tree farm some other time. By the way, this video is a bit of an experiment with attempting to remove the title bar that said Minecraft and had the little Windows title bar at the top of the videos. Hopefully it works out and all of this doesn't break, but if you are seeing horribly broken FPS or things that are really odd and out of place, well, now you know what I'm trying to do and why it's happening. Alright, so first step along this path, we're going to want to make ourselves some, well, we've already got a couple of chests, so great, I was planning ahead. We're going to want to make ourselves some hoppers. Like so. These are going to be my very basic automation tool. They're going to allow me to do a lot of set it and forget it type stuff. And we're also going to want to start melting in our smeltery 3 aluminum dust and 3 copper ore dust. I use the same technique with the ore smasher to break down the broken copper ore and the broken aluminum ore that I had into crushed, into powdered, etc., etc. And now we can use these two together. It'll take a little bit to make aluminium brass. While that's cooking, we're going to pick up this guy here, our casting basin, and instead we're going to replace it with a casting table. And on said casting table, we're going to put 1 iron ingot. The aluminium brass in the smeltery, made with 3 parts aluminium to 1 part copper, will allow us to create casts. Now, there are plenty of different casts, but the ingot cast is the one that I need first so that I can start making more bricks, because if I pour seared stone into an ingot cast, I get a seared brick. You make casts by putting the item that you need into the casting table, and then pouring the aluminium brass on top of it. You can also use gold, but gold is more rare and valuable than copper and aluminium, so you might as well use the cheap stuff rather than your expensive gold. The other thing that we're going to need to cast is a gear, and we do that by making first a wooden gear and using said wooden gear to create a stone gear. And that will allow us to cast it. There we go. 8 ingots of molten aluminium brass, pour it on our ingot there, 7 ingots left. And, consumption is turned on, so watch out for that. Glad I used iron. Iron is cheap and available. And poof, now we have a gear cast as well. First things first, we're going to start making some seared stone ingots. But I don't want to stand here and do this manually. Now, the thing about the seared stone, if I take a look at, it's not going to let me do it through there. Let's see if I can, yeah, here we go. No, that still didn't work. Let me see if I can look up seared brick and have it work that way. Here we go. The thing about the seared stone in the liquid, it takes 144 millibuckets to make a block, and 36 to make a brick. So you're not gaining any efficiency by making it all in block form, but you're eventually probably going to be crafting it into block form anyway. It just goes faster in block form. What I want to do right now is I want to get 9 more of these ingots. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this lever off so that the redstone clock turns back on and this starts pouring automatically. Now, I don't want to stand here and have to take every single one out individually. So what I'm also going to do is craft myself another chest. Come on, work with me here. In fact, I'll go ahead and make a few. And we're going to stick that chest right here. And then we're going to come around behind here and put a hopper underneath it. Underneath the casting table, pointing into the chest. This will grab the bricks out as soon as they are done and dump them in the chest for us. Now we don't need to sit here and pay attention to it. But I do want to make sure that I don't make too many. So that's 6, 7, 8, and this next one will be the 9th that I need. So now I can turn this off. There we go. And what I'm going to do is check here. We've got 2 more ingots worth in here. So we'll pour those 2. And then we're going to make some edits to our smeltery. First things first, goodbye casting table. The hopper picks up any items that land on it, so don't worry that they disappeared. They're just in the chest down here. No big deal. And we're going to stick our casting basin back underneath there. And we're going to make ourselves another drain and another faucet. You know what? I actually kind of want one more faucet, so we'll probably do that manually. But we're going to smash this seared stone right here, which seems like it causes all of the liquid to disappear but it's still hanging out in your smeltery controller. As long as you don't break the smeltery controller, or I think the center block in the middle of the bottom, then you're fine. It doesn't matter that you broke that one block. We can replace it with the drain, stick our faucet on that drain, and all of our liquid is still there. So I'm going to pour out 4 more of these, but I'm also going to start this flowing, and it's going to automatically extract the remainder of the blocks of seared stone that are in there. Now, I do need to be a little careful with this because it will also try to extract the molten aluminium brass, and I do not have enough technology yet to easily put that back into the smeltery. So this isn't a complete set it and forget it right now, but what you can do is instead make sure that you use up this aluminium brass, because you're going to want to make better tools than you're currently able to, and to make metal tools, you're going to have to go ahead and cast the parts. So, to do that, you need to make yourself a stone or flint version of, for example, the pickaxe head. Actually no, we cannot make the stone pickaxe head at all. So, I guess we're going to need to make a flint version? Yep. There we go. Pickaxe head cast tells us that we can use basically any version we want, but the flint version should allow us to do it. Hang on, let me see if we can use the stone version before we go any further. Huh, it's even allowing me to... This is odd. This is unexpected. Let's double check things here before I give out bad information, which I'm already doing. I just kind of assumed that stone tools would be disabled in this pack because everything else has been hard. Why wouldn't this? But let's see if we can replace that. All right, we have to do so in a table, don't we? Yeah, it's letting me make a stone shovel. All right then. Well, stone or flint, you're better off using stone anyway because it's cheap, and you're going to want probably a shovel, axe, and pick head in stone, so you might as well get one of each and get your casts out of the way. You're going to find that you're starting to run into inventory space issues managing all of these patterns and such. You can ameliorate this with a couple of pattern chests. To do so, you're going to need to get some blank patterns first. That's right. Oh, I can make some. Good. I'm just going to go ahead and grab 2. And those go straight on top of a chest to get pattern chests. I'm making 2 because I want to keep one of them right there filled with my gear casts. And I'm going to keep the other one back here behind my part builder because the part builder will automatically access the pattern chest without you needing to actually look at it yourself, and you can go ahead and keep your patterns in there. Darn rain, anyway. So once you have your patterns in the chest, you can easily access them from here. I'm going to make a tool binding pattern while I'm at it. And let's look at making a couple of other patterns to make casts from. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think I need a 6th one, don't I? Yes, I do. So you know what would be very appropriate would be a tool rod pattern. How many patterns? Do I have any patterns in the stencil table? No, I do not. So we will make one more pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I can't count. And I wonder, can I just cast a stick? Will it let me do this? No, it will not. Okay. So yeah, we'll make the tool rod pattern, and we're going to need one more other than that, if I'm counting correctly, which I may or may not be. We'll find out in a minute. Alright, so these go in. I'm going to want the tool rod pattern, and you know what? We should probably make... What are you? That's the large blade pattern. We should make ourselves a proper sword. We'll just use a sword pattern for now, because we're definitely going to want a blade made of some sort of metal at some point. There we go. Stone tool rod and stone sword blade. And then the process is the same as before. And then once we have used up all of the various ingots, then we'll be able to easily make use of the automated export of the rest of our seared stone blocks. Alright, I'm going to do this busy work, and then once I have this thing running on its own, I'll be back to automate a couple of other things so that we can get to work building a monster tower. See you soon. And our seared stone is now capable of running without our supervision. Excellent. The next step on my agenda is to start getting a large supply of dirt, both for farming and for other reasons. That's going to be pretty easy now that we have iron, because we can make a pair of shears and start shearing down any of the leaves that grow instead of punching them or letting them decay naturally. And thanks to the magic of Ex Nihilo, we're still getting the usual supply of saplings out of our leaves. Now, the way you turn leaves into dirt is through the use of a barrel, same as anything else. It takes 8 leaves for 1 piece of dirt. But we don't want to have to do that manually, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to set up a barrel on a hopper. Just, the hopper's not going to point into anything. And we're going to set another barrel on top of said, another hopper on top of said barrel and feed the leaves into that. The leaves are going to fill up the material, the barrel, which will start composting it, and then the hopper below will pull the dirt out when it's ready. This is very slow with 2 hoppers and 1 barrel, but we don't need it to move quickly right now. We just need it to move constantly while we're off doing other things, because we have something that's going to require a lot of our personal attention in, coming right up. So the more that we can have running while we're off doing other things that require our personal attention, the better. Excellent. And I'll come back and chop these down some other time. I don't want to deal with it at the moment. I want to get started building the monster tower. Because now that we have the capability of letting our ores auto-smelt, heck, if I wanted to get a bunch of copper together, all I would need to do is throw this copper ore dust in here and let it melt down, because 18 copper ore dust is going to turn into, 36 copper ore ingots, which will be 4 blocks of copper, which will go ahead and pour into the casting basin and end up in the chest, just like the seared stone. Nice, huh? So, what are we going to do for a monster tower? Well, I've got a usual design. Any fans of the channel have likely seen it before. I'm not going to be deviating much from that. What we're going to do is, from this spot right here, we're going to build up 18 bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, plus the one that's already down there makes the 18. And then we're going to go ahead and make the 5x5 hollow area. It's 3, 4, 5. If anyone's afraid of heights or otherwise bothered by death-defying feats of void walking, this is not the section of the episode for you, because there's going to be quite a lot of that. There we go. And we're also going to want a single piece of cobblestone floating on its own in the center there. And just for the sake of safety, we're going to stick a torch on that right now. Now, next step, heading to the back again, because I am planning on building a ladder going up here for further maintenance, but right now I'm just going to leave it blank. We are going to go 1, 2, 3, and this is the start of our next platform, I believe. Hang on. Think. No, we need to go one more up. Up 4, and this is the flat of the next platform. And the way this is going to work is we're going to leave uncovered the areas below us and cover up the open areas below us. We're going to leave, we're going to cover, sorry, words are hard today apparently. We are going to cover up the open areas below us and leave uncovered the blocked off space below. The reason for this is it will allow us to have monsters drop down here, falling about 4 spaces without taking any damage. And with 3 blocks between the floor and the ceiling, Endermen will be able to pass through. The entire point of making such a complex build is so that we can also gather Enderman drops. We are going to need them Ender Pearls. And because you have an infinite supply of cobblestone available to you, I recommend not being cheap with it. Go ahead and fill in every corner. It's going to make this more stable and secure over time. The reason for this is because sometimes monsters will, like explosions and such, will propagate through those corners. Sometimes the game will bug and they will aggro on you through those corners. It's just safer if you actually square it off and don't skimp on materials. Materials are infinite at this point, as long as you're building with cobblestone. If you're concerned about the ugliness of this, which I'm not because I know it's a temporary structure, this is something that is not going to last forever, then you can make yourself a chisel from, not carpenter's blocks, from the chisel mod. I'm going to need to scroll a bit to find it. There it is. Either with a iron ingot or a diamond. Or if you so choose, you can get yourself an obsidian chisel. That's not hard to do at this point. We'll cover that in a minute. And you can then change the texture of the cobblestone blocks. In fact, if I look at, if I do a at chisel space, nope, that doesn't work. But if I do cobblestone, you can take a look at all of the textures right here from the chisel mod of the different types of cobblestone. Personally, I don't mind the cobblestone texture from the Faithful 32 texture pack. The default Minecraft cobblestone texture might actually give me cancer at some point, though. So I can totally understand wanting to change it. Oh, I don't have nearly enough cobblestone with me to continue this. So I'm going to do a little bit more of this off camera, and when I have more to show you guys that's actually important to the functional build, I'll be back. To get down, well, that's why we filled that 3x3 with water, because we can just drop and land without taking damage. All right, I'm going to clean up those trees. I'm going to do a little bit more building up there and get things a little bit more ready, and I'll be back soon. All right, I just had to share this moment with you folks. I have no idea what's going on with the sky. We have enabled the Britannia Garden of Glass Skyblock, or at least I have. It's something you can do locally. And I have no idea what's going on with the stars right now. I've never seen it do this before, but it's like I'm in a time warp tunnel of stars and sky. It might have to do with some graphical setting that I have enabled or something, but it looks pretty cool. People in the Twitch chat, as I am live recording this as always, are pretty excited by it. I thought I'd share. It's kind of trippy. I like it. It might have just had something to do with sundown, because now it seems to be evening out to normal. That's, wow, that's neat. Someone says it reminds them of the stutter effect from Quantum Break. Oh, someone says turn the clouds off to get a look. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Whoa. It seems to be... And it's morning. Alright. Weird. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you real quick. By the way, to get back up, just some ladders right here. You don't even need the ladders. You can go ahead and just pillar back up again. But this makes things a little bit safer going up and down. So, it's pretty simple. Not for the faint of heart or the terrified of heights, but not a big deal either. And the idea is that from this point, since you start at 18, the second platform is at 22, and the third platform is at 26, which means on the third platform, even if you're standing directly below it, things are far enough away from you, the platform itself is, I mean, for creatures to spawn. Now, you're going to need to go 3 out from the wall, and you're going to need to do this all the way around. So I'm going to get that done, and once I have this built, I'll come back and show you the next couple of steps. Alright, we have reached a point where I am ready to share with you the final finishing touches. So once you have this part built up, the second layer here, where you've got this nice 3-wide platform, you're going to need to put cobblestone slabs in the corners and every other space like so. These exist to stop spiders from spawning. And I'm pretty sure that it'll work out in this pack. I haven't actually tested it, but we're gonna live fire test it and just kind of hope it does. There are certain packs that have other monsters added that cause this to be a big problem. The reason spiders are an issue is because we are only leaving a 1 space gap for things to fall, and spiders are 2x2, so we can't have them spawning. The next platform ends up looking like so, going 3 out from the wall of the platform below, leaving a 1 space gap between the platform and the interior platform, having a 9x9 interior platform with a... Or is that 9x9? Yes, it is. 9x9 interior platform with a gap in the middle, allowing things to fall. And again, you're going to want to get your cobblestone slabs spaced out such that spiders cannot spawn like so. Now, I have been using this monster tower, I call it the gravity-fed monster tower design, since my first attempt at the first Agrarian Skies series, and it's worked out great for me every time I've used it in a skyblock or anything even remotely similar to a skyblock. There we go. And the reason I do everything by 3s is to make the spider spawn prevention as easy as possible, as well as to make sure everything ends up working out with the blocks, make it easy to light up while you're still building it. For up top, you're going to want to have a 1, 2, 3 high wall. I actually have a wall that's taller than it needs to be by 1 here. And then on top of this wall, and everywhere else, you're going to want bottom slabs for your ceiling. This is so nothing can spawn on top of your monster trap, and so it's going to be dark within the monster trap. Now, the exciting part of this whole process is getting things set up. You know what? Hang on. I need to claim more land, it seems, as I have not claimed a very large area. Let's click and then control. Click. Yes. Okay. That's what I get for working small to begin with. But you can claim 1,000 chunks and load 50 of them in this, so there's no reason to be really conservative. There's 25 chunks loaded. Now, you may want to make sure that you... not friends. I wanted to pull up the claim chunks again. You may want to make sure that any chunks this overlaps with, stay unloaded, and you can build the majority of it in one area. Huh. How do I... Ah, you can control right-click. That way, the monsters won't be spawning while you are... Unclaim all chunks in overworld, refresh. I have no idea what the check is for. They won't continue to spawn when you're offline. However, since you're relying on natural spawning anyway, it's not a big deal, because they'll only spawn when a player is within a certain number of blocks, or else if they do spawn, they will instantly despawn. Now, the reason that we don't go any higher than this is because this trap relies on natural monster movement to have the monsters fall down to the bottom. And monsters will only move when they are within 36 blocks of a player. Anything outside of that range and beyond their initial spawn movement, they freeze in place and don't move to save on computational costs. Because of this, the idea is to have our primary spawning platforms, which are at Y, well, actually, what Y level is this? This is Y83 and Y87. Those... Oh. Hey, look, we were... Oh, speaking of which, we got far enough away from the bottom for a couple of things to spawn. You know what? The creeper's in water, and everything else we should be able to kill fairly easily. What's the highest damage thing I have on me? Probably this hatchet. So let's do something exciting. I forgot to put a torch down there, silly me. Remember, that was 83 and 87 for the spawning platforms. Let's get down there and deal with this issue. Well, that didn't work out, did it? I hit it and it ended up... Oh, hey, look at this. I never set my spawn, did I? Right, it's /island join purple mentat. Oops, and that is the wrong capitalization. There we go. Let's see what damage occurred. Shouldn't be too bad. The great thing is, with our gravestones mod, I'm not going to lose anything to this. The unfortunate bit is it's getting towards night, so I need to get over here and grab some cobble and fix this before it becomes a bigger issue. And... there we go. Oh, or maybe I will have some issues? I'm not sure. It looks like the gravestone didn't quite grab everything. You see, that was entirely my fault. If I had just come down here and not smacked the creeper, everything would have been fine. Wait, why did you spawn? I was right here. They're not supposed to be able to spawn that close. Goodbye, skeleton. That's weird. There we go. Got my things back, and... excellent. Lost nothing of import, from the looks of it. Anyway, where were we? We were looking at the base Y level, which is 61. So, everything where the creatures are spawning up there is going to be within the movement range of the bottom of the world, which is exactly what we wanted. Right, someone in Twitch, the Twitchopedia has reminded me that gravestones do occasionally spawn skeletons, which, that's just mean if that's turned on. I should probably build a bed at some point, but oh well. Okay, let me get back up there. Need some ladders to do so, and then we can continue the demonstration. I'm gonna want more logs. There we go. Now, where were we? I think we covered almost everything, didn't we? Yeah, I think we did. Okay, so I'm going to finish filling everything in with slabs. So let's get ourselves another crafting table up here so that we can easily make them. And when I have the rest of this built, I will come back and show you my mad dash of activating it. See you soon. Alright, time for the final finishing touches. The thing that you need, the absolute most important bit of this entire build that you cannot live without, are the trap doors. They need to go in the gaps that you've created, because this is what will trick the monsters into thinking that these are solid blocks when their wandering AI kicks in. As you can see, they work as solid because I can shift and sneak my way right across them, just like that. Now, we're also going to be breaking the torches on our way up so we can get things ready to spawn. And I have a pillar of cobble on the outside that gives us a path downwards. So we're going to be able to get down without taking damage, which is good because I'm low on food, and that's something that I'm going to have to solve next episode because, you know, you need the foods to live. There we go. Now, the last level is slightly trickier because when I am over here, I'm far enough away from the other side to actually cause things to spawn. That means that we just need to be a little bit careful about how and when we start breaking the torches. I'm going to get these trapdoors down, and I'll be back when we're ready to go get this thing active, and I can show you the special extra that makes this mob tower special compared to all of the other ones I've ever built. Alright, there we are. Everything's all trapdoored off, so now monsters will happily wander around and die. Let's go ahead and start breaking down these torches. You want to work your way from one corner towards the other, and don't worry about recollecting them. Remember, torches are cheap. We have a near infinite number of them. And as soon as you get over here, you are now at threat. If a skeleton spawns behind us, we're in trouble. But we got out. No problem. There we go. So let's... Where did my... Oh, jeez. Okay, good. It's right there. Let's head back down, and I will show you why I'm so excited about this particular mob spawner. As you can see, we have a small smeltery built at the bottom of it. That's the fun and exciting part. We are dropping our monsters into a smeltery, where they are falling into a small pool of seared stone and dying by burning. This is going to give us a very early and near infinite supply of both netherrack and endstone. And I'll show you how once monsters start getting in there. As you can see, we are already getting some blood. We can make netherrack by... Ooh, look, it's a compressed creeper even. Come on. Casting 1,000 millibuckets of blood onto some gravel. And we have a very easy source of lots and lots of gravel. Now, the problem here is we're not getting any of those drops. All of those items are just going to sit in there and decay, right? Well, let's do something about that. By breaking that block right there, we expose one of those corners that I told you we needed to not have. Well, in this case, it's going to be a good thing because we're going to make ourselves some new tech that's going to help us out a bit. First thing that we need to do is use some of the smooth stone that we smelted up previously. Where do I have it? Here it is. To make a stone barrel from Ex Nihilo. You need some stone slabs for that. Now, we're going to go ahead and stuff this stone barrel right over here. How do I want this? This is a tough... Oh, what the heck is that thing? I don't recognize that thing at all. Interesting. And what... there's a levitating zombie? It's got, like, mana shield or something? I don't know. That's cool. Anyway, stone barrel. Right. To make use of this, we're just going to need to get ourselves a bit of water out of one of these. First off, we need to put some lava in it. I need to wait for some more stone to melt before I have any lava. You know, I should really set up a hopper on top of that crucible, injecting stone into it. Ow, that was warm. Actually, I've got extra lava right here. Good. So we put some lava in here, and just a quick flash of water. That didn't work. Why did that not work? That used to work. Might not have given it enough time. There we go. Water on top of a stone barrel filled with lava gets you 1 obsidian. Why did I need an obsidian? Well, because we're going to also need, where's our blaze powder? And now we need to wait for an enderman to, hey, speaking of an enderman, we need an enderman in there. All right, great. So I need one more thing before we can proceed here. I need a new cast that I do not yet have. And that is going to be a pan cast. Now, you could just open that up and run in there and try to grab a ender pearl that enderman dropped, but I would rather play it safe as much as possible on a skyblock. So I'm going to go ahead and make a stone pan, and I'm going to put some more copper and aluminium, and I'm going to get a cast over here. And when I return, I'll show you exactly how we're going to make use of a pan cast and what that's going to do for us, as well as all the other materials I'm getting together. All right, there's our pan cast. With a pan cast in a casting table and resident ender on the bottom, we can cast ender pearls. That's step 1. An ender pearl plus some blaze powder gives us an eye of ender, and an eye of ender with obsidian and a hopper creates a vacuum hopper, which if we stuff that in the corner right here, it will happily grab everything that's dropping inside of that through the tiny crack between the 2 blocks. Now all we need to do is give it a chest to output into, but before I can do that, I need to grow more trees. I am at critical levels of wood after Project Trapdoor. So there we have it. Fully functional mob trap with automatic drop collection and super extra ender pearl generation, plus if I put the blood on the bottom, it solves my food needs. It's not pretty, but I can cast coagulated blood, which I can eat. It's just not very appealing, as it says. And wow, gives me a health boost. I assume that's just a normal eating thing? I have no idea what that's about. Was not expecting potion particles. Now, the worry that I had when I was investigating this option was that when the smeltery filled up, I would run into trouble, or that it would constantly use fuel. However, it does not require fuel to keep things melted, only to melt new things. So I only needed as much fuel as it took to melt 1 cobblestone. And now that there is some liquid in there, as long as there's liquid in there, things should die. I think the witches might be living, though. Oh, nope, one of them just went down. Okay, good. Good. And as you can see, this is generating quite a lot of drops quite quickly, and I really need to get on those trees. Luckily, that's going to be easy. Oh, hey, sugar. Neat. Especially now that we have such an easy supply of bones, I'm just going to bone meal for the wood that I need. Alright folks, that's going to be all for today. Next time I'm going to automate some storage for these guys, because that's going to be very easy with the everything that we have. There we go. Oh hey, one of those weird not blizzes dropped. What are they? A blitz, I'm being told they're called? Come on, anything? No? Okay. Alright, that's going to be all for today. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If so, leave me a thumbs up. Tell me what you liked about it. If not, leave me a thumbs down. Tell me what you didn't. Either way, if you want to see more of this series, please click subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.